But
hello and welcome everybody to week 4 of the LCS Challengers League. We're through the first round robin and we're about to start the second, and I'm happy to walk you through the action today. You can call me Kangas, but I'm joined by Mazel and Cubby. Mazel, salute to you as well.
Oh, hello. Is that how we say hello as roommates?
Well,
every day?
every time we go to the kitchen. You know,
you're doing coffee, I give you the salute, and we walk away.
And we got Cubby on the cast as well. Cubby, this is your moment to show off, because I know that you were very excited to be wearing your brand new shoes for the first time on broadcast. Is there any way you can get that up in frame for us?
Really?
I want to see the leg hike.
Yes,
I want to see the leg hike.
We're doing this.
Get the leg hike up there.
He was telling me he's breaking these in. They're brand new running shoes.
He's gonna
Bold
sit
move.
down.
Bold move, because that's going to kind of hurt, right? All right, pour one out for Cubby's feet. There we go.
You just giving that out for free, Cubby? Oh my god.
All I gotta say is those old running shoes I had, hundreds of miles on them over. Both soles ripped, so it's a big day for me. Gonna stand, be nice and comfy for the 6 games we got today, and hopefully some good action to start off our second round robin.
Hopefully your feet aren't hurting by the end of it. Breaking in shoes can be quite painful sometimes. But speaking of
right now,
big moments, we do have, of course, our play of the week. We love to start off the show with that. We had it on Twitter. We voted for the top 2 from last week. Now we're going to do it live. So everybody get ready in Twitch chat. We will have a poll going up. Make sure that you vote for whichever play you are the bigger fan of that you think deserves play of the week. Let's take a look at play number 1.
okay, we got Ivan.
I'll call you Charmin.
Think about Ivan. No, okay, just chill. Front to back here with me.
Yeah. Yep. I'll
Let's get him. I got him.
Charmin 3.
I'm going. 3, 2, 1. I have
Let's go.
It's Penta for me. It's Penta for me. Yeah. Okay, Penta. It's Penta, guys! Please! Let's go. Okay.
Oh, that's so good, man.
Even our producer was like, "What the?"
You might have noticed we had that one a little quieter, just so
I
we
just
didn't
love the
blast your
begging.
eardrums with it.
The begging in the middle. Please, Penta! Like, come on, give it
He
to him.
identified the Penta was coming, like, after the second kill, too. That was a cool part. I love that. But yeah, parry Penta kill. Not many junglers picked those up, Mazel. This is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. And it's for Perry, which specifically just fits his motto, right? He wants to be the leader. He wants to be that aggressive jungler. He wants to be the carry. And you get to see moments like this. You can see the whole team rallying around him. That's the kind of stuff you love here.
And Cubby, the voice comms, getting an insight into teams.
It was
it's always
clean,
super
right?
insightful, right? You know, we get to learn how they structure the call, all that kind of stuff.
I would. But good luck to those coaches, man. I don't know how they do that every day. I'm just gonna. I know why JJ's going crazy now here.
Yeah, what they call the Insane Asylum, I believe, is what their comms are titled. But that is our first look at play number 1. Let's take a look at play number 2 to see who the competition is. Actually flashes to safety under the turret. Auto Orange continues to follow up and will get the kill. Teleport in now.
Oh,
Dazel's here. He's stopping it. Oh, the headbutt pushes him away. Now Fake jumping in onto Auto Orange. They know that Lambson's fight is still available for this Kindred as it does go down, but the Skies have everybody here. Slicey Maelstrom locking them down. Zygo actually headbutts Moy. And massive pulverize. Scary Jerry joined into the fight. Maryville can turn this. Disguise took too long, and Maryville group up themselves. Okay, I know that we were casting that game. You were very impressed with the play because it even started before the clip ran, because it was a long play where he doesn't go in onto the Sylas who could have stolen the Alistar ultimate. Zyko just played that very well.
I think that Zyko's been really stepping up with Maryville as they did start week 1, 1-5. They're now sitting at 9-9 at the turn going into the second round robin. Engagers have been a really nice step forward for Maryville and Zyko, and he's been playing well. So excited to see more of that in our first series today.
So just happy to see the bot lane looking more confident, right, together.
Yes.
I think getting to talk to Auto Orange a little bit off the week, it was interesting to hear kind of the confidence that has been gained in such a short time by that duo.
So we got Zyko on the Alistar playing goalie for the team, helping them win a crucial team fight in that one. And also We have Perry with the pentakill. Make sure to start voting right now. I believe the vote should be live. I don't have Twitch chat up in the background, but Twitch chat, you should be able to vote live right now as to who wins Play of the Week. While you do that, we want to open up the conversation to a bigger deal, I guess, when it comes to the broadcast, because we give out the Most Valuable Prospect Award every split. It's a regular season award based on who we think could move into LCS and do well, pick up LCS teams' wins. We started that conversation, Cubby, and I know that you put together a video with a couple of the other broadcast members as to who some of those front runners are. So let's take a look at the MVP front runners halfway through the split.
Team Liquid's jungler Mir was voted most valuable prospect in spring and picked up precisely where he left off in summer, propelling his squad to a run even more dominant than the team's championship run in summer 2022. This split, his peers and coaches have both praised his ability to play carries and utility. He has seamlessly adapted to play around a different lane in a different meta, and the way that he is able to carry games just speaks for itself.
Alright, now let's talk APA. APA has been a standout in his second split. His laning has improved, and he has the highest gold difference at 15 in his role to show it. And the advantages he creates lets him move and impact the map, earning him the highest first blood percentage amongst mid laners, all of which make him a critical part of TLC's early game. His champ pool is not only deep, but he has also influenced the meta, drawing 6 of the 8 bans Cassiopeia has in the summer and all of the Twisted Fate bans.
Keel has been having the best split of his career, and that is after having already played amazingly in spring. He is second among junglers at gold diff at 15, but not just from farming up to that. By being a part of 50% of the team's first bloods, he gains leads for the team early that he then pivots into playing with the team later. With Keel at the lead, Wildcard has the highest Barons per game as well, picking up Baron 77.5% of the time. No one can out-teamfight Wildcard while Keel sets everyone up on the team for success.
If I had to cast my most valuable prospect vote halfway through the split, I'd vote for Fake God. He's been the best performer in his role, even leading the league in gold differential at 15 at a whopping plus 753. But what I've loved the most is his consistency out of lane. Fake God always seems to be taking the right angles and choosing the right targets, which has led to him making nothing but good plays. LCS fans might be surprised to hear this, but NACL fans won't be when I say he deserves another shot at the big leagues.
Well, that's the Cubby endorsement for Fake God, but other members as well that are at the top of the conversation. So let us know in Twitch chat also who you think should be on that list. I know we only gave 4. Sometimes the list are top 5s. There's a little bit more room for the discussion. But Cubby, I want to give you some time to highlight some of those players as well here live on broadcast.
I mean, when we had the discussion behind the scenes, the part of the reason it was 4 is that we felt like those 4 were hands down the most deserving. I think that it's really great that Keel got a shot. I know that a lot of the teams are praising him behind the scenes as well. Even our frontrunners TLC have been giving Keel some kind words as to what his play has looked like throughout the first round robin. But if you're an NACL fan, I honestly shock your LCS fan only friends and tell them that Fake God deserves another shot. Because when I go through the tape, I really feel like Fake God's playing at an LCS level. I don't like using that phrase on challengers. I feel like LCS ready and LCS level is overused here. But I don't really know how else to describe his play. It feels like every fight this guy's playing, he has a job and he's doing it really well. I know he's getting some grief for his lane dominant stats based on how many Renekton picks that he has. That is his most played and he plays it really well. But still, I think that Fake God's been really, really impressive for me, along with the others that we have on the list.
Who's your standout, Mazel?
I gotta say it's APA in that list out of all of them. I know a lot of people will say, well, nobody talks about Keel. You had that little moment, like when does he deserve his shot? But I can't get enough of this guy's work ethic, the way that he approaches the game, the way that he approaches his style as well, and the confidence behind it. Mm-hmm. You gotta appreciate that, and the hungriness in a player is something that I feel like we don't get displayed a lot.
In his rookie split, or rookie year rather, spring was his rookie split. We kind of forget that because APA has been in the amateur system for so long, but this is his first time here. But it's time. We've had plenty of time for Twitch chat to get the votes in. Let's get a drum roll because Play of the Week is being announced right now. Let's see who wins it. Who did Twitch chat believe in? Again, Perry Penta. Oh, it's the Perry Penta!
Oh, it's gotta be the Penta. Let's go. Jungles get Pentas and plays get clipped. And you love to see the Kindred for Perry specifically. Also a little Mazel Pog there. Subscribe, by the way, if you want to get the email.
Also, if you're a player, just post more of your clips with comms. Like, I mean, these comms were wild and hilarious, but also it's just really fun to kind of get that insight. Love seeing the POVs. We can grab as many clips as we can on broadcast, but it's a lot cooler seeing it. The clicks that the players are able to make. So love the fact that Perry showed that, and hope that we have more players sharing good clips of theirs from Challengers League.
And shout out to Fear, who also posted it on Twitter. Ripped the 600 views. If you didn't get it in today, maybe check it out tomorrow, because they did, of course, put together like a little montage of some of their plays. But speaking of the teams, Fear will be on this next screen because we're taking a look at the standings. Who's leading the pack? Who is falling behind? Mazel, I'm going to throw this one over to you because we still got a clear front runner.
There's one horse in the race right now.
Literally a horse, yeah.
It's literally a horse, Kangas. It is Team Liquid, who are heads and above the rest of the pack, it feels like. And we see that approach in a lot of their games, right? We are getting to the nitty-gritty of our split, but to see them still head and above is good. The rest, though, that's the most important part. It's Wildcard, it's DSG, it's FlyQuest. Who's going to be the contester to TLC?
Yeah, we got a little bit of a clump for who's in second place. Right now, 2 teams tied. FlyQuest right behind them, looking to challenge. Maybe they can pick up a win because they will have a big matchup today. Let's take a look at the matches that we'll have on stream. Reminder, we have 2 streams going on. If you do not already, pull up twitch.tv/PathLCS. You can go support the other stream. You can get different emotes over there, too, if you want to sub.
Yeah.
But for today, we got Maryville versus Team Liquid Honda Challengers, Disguise versus FlyQuest Challengers, and Evil Geniuses Challengers, with a new member coming in against AOE. Cubby, real quick, what's your matchup for the day?
TSG versus FlyQuest. I think both of these teams are looking for more wins in the second round robin. High expectations for each. Good opportunity for each squad to start off the second round robin with a bang.
Exactly. And they're right next to each other in the standings, too. That's going to be an exciting one. But to start things off, we have a bit of a challenge for Team Liquid Honda Challengers. They are the top horse, as you said, Mazel. Top horse? Is that the way to put it?
Yeah, I'd say so. It fits their logo. Top horse, but top dog in our league right now. It has just been a holistic effort, it feels like. I don't feel like there has been a single player you could say hasn't stepped up at one time or another. And it feels really good. Development is key in our league, and Team Liquid are at the forefront of that.
Well, there's a little bit of history, but besides just the fact that MU won to topple Giants here, a little bit of history between some of these players as APA did play on Maryville, and you got a chance even to chat with Odd Orange last week about this matchup, and we got some words from him himself. So let's just hear from Odd Orange and the Maryville boys to see how they're approaching this match.
We're coming for TLC. I wanna just put those guys in the dirt, honestly, especially because APA, he just chirps, and honestly, it never feels good to play a best of 2 because it seems like a lot of the teams can go 1-1 versus each other. I think when we play versus TLC, we're gonna go 1-1 versus them, but like when we catch them in playoffs, it's gonna be coming for you, Ian. We're coming for APA.
Oh, you hear that, man? You hear that? I always love to hear the boys chirping on their old boy APA, but also Niles chiming in there. And it is
We're
that
coming
fact
for you, Ian.
APA has a target on his back. You talk to so many people around the league, but it is also curious because I was doing a bit of content with some of the boys yesterday, and there was a lot of fireworks in those. Just saying, APA is hot today coming into this little gig that we have going
for future content.
We had APA on Raising NA this past week, and he's like, I've been using all chat more this split. I think that might be why he's got a target on the back of his head.
Oh, that's good. We need to get more all chat content coming in. Maybe we'll have some of that today. But not only just in-game in chat, but he's also joining the conversation on Twitter, as you should as well. But he had a reply to this exact interview. Cubby, what could he be cooking in this reply? What do we think about it?
I don't know, man. It's just APA Ziggs. He got the chance to bust. He got 5 mid bans thrown at him and got to bust it out and just carried a game last week. I'm always scared of what APA is actually cooking. So
yeah,
he's got a big champ pool. He keeps on drawing bans, and rightfully so. But also, it's like, how much do you really want to ban this guy out, given how big his pool actually is?
And his proficiency on all these deep champions as well, Mazel, because it feels like even if you man out 5, he still has these types of champs that he performs incredibly well on.
Yeah, it becomes so difficult to address him in the draft, but also address the team in the draft. Well, you do see a lot of comfort coming through. And this is not saying, there haven't been some tribulations. I do feel like you do want to see some of that flexibility for their compositional strength come through. But on the other side, this is where maybe some of that flexibility brings them to light here in this series, because Maryville, on the other hand, need a very tried and true direction in the game, and they have to find it early.
And they also have experience playing against APA as well. I think it's important to highlight both sides of that. Niles and Odd Orange have played with this guy in the past. Now, the rest of the squad coming in here, I've been pretty impressed overall, Cubby, with how MU have looked. They're 9-9 right now, much higher than we expected. The only collegiate team ever competing at this level.
I think that they just have the advantage of, man, when they make a call, it feels like everyone follows it. And that's something that I haven't seen out of all of our challenger squads even, this split. As we'll talk more about that when it comes to this guys versus FlyC especially. But Maryville, they are a team that is on the same page. And I know that I caught up with Zyko before the games today. I think one of the big changes for Maryville has actually been the patch swap, enabling Zyko to play more engagers so they can just all pile in on the same targets. That really feels like it has contributed to Maryville starting the season 1-5 and now having an 8-4 record in the last 2 weeks combined to make it to 9-9.
Yeah, so the shift in meta has been huge for a lot of teams. Yeah, Mazel?
It has, as well as like just the confidence of having games played. I think when I was talking with Odd Orange in his interview, it was seriously just about building that confidence in that 2v2. If he had any words, it was just don't stop believing in yourself. Don't stop taking those decisive moments. You get to see some of that.
And this was in the play of the week. Look at that. the whole Zyko Alistair goalie, we just voted on it. He didn't win. But these types of plays, you see how the team plays around each other. And Cubby, I know that we didn't have this on the tape, but again, before, it's a Kindred walking up with the Renekton and an Alistair. The Alistair stays back because you know that Young and the Silas can steal your ult, probably turn the fight. So they are communicating. They're playing as a team.
It's why they found the 2-0 over FlyQuest Challengers, as I was going over the games just last night. And we even had coaches in the chat, like Kelsey Moser was in there, like, so how did Maryville win both of these games, right? And it really is just they're making team calls. Games are getting bloody, but they're playing the game that they want to play. I think Maryville have actually dictated what a lot of teams have had to play, because ultimately a lot of teams have just degraded into getting into a fist fight with Maryville. And that's something where I don't know if you can do that to beat TLC, but I want to keep on seeing Maryville play as a team and make these plays as 5, because it is the reason that they're doing a lot better in the standings than we thought, sitting at 9-9.
That's the question. Which team will have more synergy, as both of them have exhibited very impressive amounts so far in the first round robin. Pick and Ban is ready for game number 1, so I'm going to pass it over to the casters to get us into game.
Oh, I got it passed to me, Cubby. I got it. I made him do that. Anyways, we're
really
going to try
with
LC
that?
Yes, we do. You have to. Come on. Come on.
Right.
It'd be better if, since he's downstairs, we do it actually physically. Anyways, we are going to get to game number 1 of our day. It's a heck of a kickoff in our second round robin. It's Maryville on the blue side with TLC on the red. We have all those stories, all those connections between APA and the college that he got his shot from. We got Kindred banned away already by MU. It is the LeBlanc banned by TLC.
Really want to keep our eyes on, honestly, quite a few matchups in this. For me, it's can Maryville keep up with TLC? Because surprisingly enough, Maryville, I got to say, their early games, they're averaging like being down about 100 gold at 15. But I think that in the last couple weeks, it's really picked up how they have been able to execute. We saw them nearly perfect game disguised last week. And I think a lot of it has been off of them taking priority in the lanes. So I like the fact that TLC, honestly, are on red side. I think blue side's favor this patch, but TLC are our favorites. And if they are able to answer a few of those lanes, it could help them in the game, try and fight the fire that Maryville always likes to bring early.
That's the tradition for Maryville, though. They try to find an early lead. If they have direction in a game, man, do they look so damn good. But then if things go wrong early on, it's struggling to find direction a lot of the time. We do see the Olaf and the Zaya as their direction for the final 2 bans of the first phase. We also get the Nico and the Vi ban.
Sejuani time. I think that the Olaf ban tells me that they want to look for something like Sejuani Renekton, so that's going to be a Sejuani lead. Jax and Renekton are up, so you can pair both of those moving forward, but TLC, they see the Sej. Ivern's on the board, so going to be a little bit of a different look for Mir, but Ivern is a pick that we expect all the teams to be able to play on this patch, given how strong that champion is, and we'll see if Mir is able to pilot it successfully.
I'm just saying, I know it has no bounds here. It's across the world. I got to watch Kanavi play Ivern last night, and he did some things I've never seen before on this champion in terms of his path of clearing. It's going to be insane. I can't wait to see Mir, who is one of our best junglers, be able to take this one to town against Maryville. We do also have the Tristana with some flexibility here already in the draft for Team Liquid.
It will be Renekton coming in for the side of MU. The key is, what will they answer last? They have a chance to maybe deny Aphelios if they want to do that, take that away from Arrow and TLC. But no, it's actually going to be a Rel pickup. So if TLC wants to answer with something like the Alistar, they could here. And I must say, Alistar, rather strong pairing with Ivern.
I really like the choices that are available for Team Liquid, but I also like the forward aggression that Maryville has gotten. You know, we're saying get a lead early. Well, you know what fits that? Just get everybody that goes forward. We'll see what else joins this, though. Maybe even Kaisa slinking on through. I know it's been a little bit of hush conversation on the win rates for Kaisa around the world, but interesting to see what Maryville go with to get that security for Scary Jerry. You do get the Alistar, though, locked in for Team Liquid.
And that means that we're likely to see a Silas ban here from TLC. Don't want to take away that, as you have access to Alistar ult, and you have the Sejuani pairing. Now, I know that Tristana has a good matchup into Silas. Also, APA is willing to play the Ziggs, but I would not want to give Silas an Alistar ultimate in this game. And so I expect that to be taken away here from TLC. And for Maryville, take away a couple top laners. It might be a little bit on the safer side between Sejuani. You play Silas yourself?
Oh, okay. There.
No. Not
master brain going. Not gonna be there, yeah, for sure. And we will see, obviously, that Scion ban had already been there for Maryville, but potentially looking to even up the odds in this topside duo, because we know how strong these two have been, Niles and Odd Orange, especially when they were connecting for Maryville University. It'll be that Cassante ban.
I would love to see actually Varus denied here from the side of TLC. I know that they are the Aphelios team, but each team is looking for magic damage right now. I think that Varus actually is really strong into what's showing from Maryville. Pairs rather well with the Alistar too, and would deny that opportunity for Maryville to take it, because Varus might be an appealing champion for them as well. But of course, Aphelios is up. Arrow's Aphelios has been nothing short of impressive this split, so not surprised to see him and TLC select that, as they have a chance to find magic damage later.
Man.
Oh, you're saying your big brain when you saw Kaisa being locked in with Rel? No way.
Hey, you know, as a play-by-play, you give me the small moments, all right? You give me the small. That's my cookie, Cubby. That's my cookie, all right? I get a gold star. We do get that response, though, with the Malphite. TL want to get a bit of that re-engage as well, going into this very aggressive composition for Maryville.
I gotta say, Malphite interacts pretty well with everything on the side of Maryville if it can survive the landing phase, which is made even more difficult given that Renekton has that Sejuani to play with as well. So magic damage from TLC will really only be that Malphite, but with the Sunfire Cape, how strong that is, honestly should be okay. Whereas you'll find it from the Kaisa later. I'm a little bit worried. I think the Kaisa is a really strong pick, but struggles in lane against the Aphelios. So I think it's going to be bot priority for TLC. And curious what Mira can do on the path to try and throw off the Sejuani, because I expect Sejuani to be pathing towards that top side to play through the Renekton. I know it's just a Malphite, but it has been a winning strategy for Maryville, especially when Odd Orange is able to find this pick. You mentioned the Pantheon, another pairing that we have seen Maryville abuse with that Sejuani. So I think it's going to be about how far ahead can Renekton get on this top side versus how far ahead is Aphelios going to be able to be on this bot side.
Yeah, it's crazy to see us here. We got our top dogs, or top horse in Team Liquid Challengers, taking on our only and first collegiate representative here in NACL in Maryville University. You've got the ties between APA and former college and former teammates Odd Orange, Niles get back as well. It should be a lot of fun to see them go head to head. We know they chirp. We know they talk. Maybe we'll get an eye on all chat today, but it should be fun, as you should be spamming in chat who you think is going to be winning. MU for Maryville, TLC for Team Liquid right now. Got a lot of horses in the race.
Want to keep our eyes out for Mir in this early game, Zell, as of course you kind of called it out, the Ivern, the unique pathing you can do. You got to bear witness to the work that Kanavi was able to do on this pick last night, as JDG found a dominant 2-0.
Camps at once.
Yeah. Well,
like, I was sitting there like, that. Yep, that's a thing.
So one of the clears that you can do if Mir wants to try it is that you can prep 3 camps on one side and actually try to invade the other. So there isn't any forward scouting down for TLC, which tells me that Mir is going to go for a little bit more of a passive clear. But of course, when you have that smite, all you have to do is prep a camp and smite it away. Really easy to take one away from the side of any enemy jungler. So we'll keep our eyes out for Mir to see if he gets creative and does that early. He will have bot lane priority.
Yeah, he absolutely will. Do like the opposite side starts, maybe a little bit of a wraparound coming through. And you see actually Mir going for a bit early style vertical jungling. He's going for that extra steal you were talking about. Also, speaking of steal, Maryville, they've taken the predictions from the chat here, by the way, at the end, 60-40 Maryville. So a lot of belief in this team who has truly earned it. I feel like looking from the beginning of the season to where we are now for Maryville, it's a different story.
Passive will not be procced by the Kais in the bot side, but actually a bit surprised that Arrow wasn't able to step up, get that harass down onto the Kaisa, as range advantage to sit with TL bot lane, as we will see Mir take all those camps that he prepped after he took away that red buff. Odoran should have honestly been able to decipher this, given that there was a ward on the Ivern's Raptor camp that just died out, so by not seeing Ivern, probably has a good idea that he's about to get the bad news, which is that his red buff is missing, and has gone over to the friend of the forest who, I guess, saved it, you know. Ivern loves the forest. Save that red buff.
He saved it by taking it away. That's, you know, the love that Ivern gives. I also am looking right now at Maryville's composition. Very, very heavy on AP. I do expect Scary Jerry to try to go with the static shiv build to try to get something back for them, because it is all centered on one position right now, it feels like, for Maryville.
Yeah, for anyone watching at home, we are still on 13-12, so not the live patch where the shiv did get nerfed, so a full expectation for Kaisa to go with that AP build variety.
Oh, hey, look, friends! Hey, these guys know each other. APA going at it, though. Gonna take a nice little trade from Get Back on the back end. Has Mir right behind him, though. Doesn't miss the root, but APA is going forward, playing aggressive as always, and knowing he has his backup right behind him.
And this clear from Mir is so strong. He can go prep this camp, smite it away, and then go take his 3 camps on the top side.
Insane.
So this is some of the power of having that mid lane priority, as APA might have to flash.
Oh, APA, he gets flashed on. Get Back gets first blood for Maryville. It'll be traded right back to APA.
Niles roamed down as he got the shove in the top side off those first 3 waves, but now Bradley can come. He's level 4. You're rather strong when you have Mir out.
Oh my god, Bradley, rock solid. He can't get it, though. That was a huge take of the Scuttle Crab, and now Niles might have to pay for Auto Orange's sins. Niles actually trying to fight back. He's still the croc here. You do have the backup. The accelerated shock blast is available, but APA's trying to cut him off. Nice snipe from Get Back, as he finds a second kill, and now APA is just trying to chase him out. It should be an exit from Maryville. What a beautiful little moment.
Okay, Get Back has 2 kills to his name. He goes, though, he'll lose this wave, but Maryville will take that as the crab is theirs. They're up a kill. Honestly, really props to Niles for sticking that one out as the Redactant, as things were getting quite scary for him, but I think that Sejuani, you know, denying this crab, able to actually tick up a level, was one of the big difference makers. We're going to get a replay, of course. Saw the trade in mid. Bradley going man mode here. Auto Orange gets the level that barely saves his life from the Malphite. And then Niles, he's got Conqueror rolling, and you're a level 4 Redactant with a Sejuani, so he's just chilling. He's zoning off Mir, able to keep on autoing Bradley. That scares him away eventually, too, and then Get Back finds the kill off the stun. Really well played by Maryville as they went out on that skirmish, and it'll be a bit of a lead for them.
Loved to see it, as it's that early fight back that we were expecting from Maryville. A lot of their games, they do tend to try to go for these kinds of early advantages, and even with some of that strong clearing from Mir and the continued presence from him, I do really like some of the decision making we're already seeing from Maryville. And
Blink.
yeah, he's gonna steal another one. Those are some free chicky nuggies for him. But now we are looking at setups contextually for these objectives. We're about a minute after the dragon has spawned. It is an Infernal Dragon first up. But with the amount of presence that Team Liquid have had so far on this bottom side of the map, it makes it so difficult if Maryville want to add to their early advantage.
So the Aphelios does have to reset. This would be the one window where they could try and take that dragon if they did shove this out, but Zyko opting to match the reset of the TLC bot lane. I think that's the right call. One of the things about Ivern, can't really do neutrals until you get Daisy up. You need a lot of help from your friends. It's not like a Vi where you can just kind of hop into the dragon at even level 4 and solo it down. So I think Mir is going to try and cruise towards that level 6. Has nothing to do on the map at the moment, so just going to hover mid in case Zyko does face check here. As Bradley has no flash, he does have an ult, but he might have to waste that here.
Yeah, he's going to have to. Does go for the stun instead just to stop them from following him up under turret, and does get out of that one.
Well played from the side of MU. I fully expect for them to revisit that Mel fight around the time the Herald spawns. As Mir, seeing that level 5, does not have access to Daisy, but does have help from the mid laner. And also knowledge that Odd Orange did show on that top side, so this first dragon will go over to TLC for free.
All right, well, they're stacking up some early objectives for themselves. We're looking at now next steps onto the Rift Heralds, which will be spawning within a minute. But specifically this pace and kind of setup that TL are building towards, it is a double marker. And that is something that we always have to check into. While very risky, a double-edged sword, I think it's something that TL are fully opting into.
I love seeing Niles dirty farm this, as it looks like we do have the W max Mel fight with the BTA. So Niles has full right to do that. Gonna get himself a really nice reset, and fully expect to see him all in that Mel fight yet again with Odd Orange, who did just wrap up that red buff. Looks to be 1 camp away from level 6. So should ding that off the Gromp. And then I expect them to go attack Bradley again to the top side to try and use that to set up a Rift Herald. So we'll see if TLC can break this, as Renekton and Sejuani is a very oppressive duo in that top side. Very difficult for top laners to deal with, and Bradley, he knows he's got to get that wave in because this is the wave where he gets attacked.
I'm out in the 2v2 here as the crash down. Moonlight Vigil does connect. Scary Jerry getting oh so low. All those chakrams following him up, slicing him up. That should be more plates over to Arrow.
Yeah.
And again, you cannot stop highlighting when this man has the Aphelios with TL. Looks so damn good bot lane. He's actually looking for aggression with Mir right above him.
I really like this from TLC because we were just kind of talking about the setup that MU has in the top side, Bizel. So TLC, they say, hey, we have that Aphelios. We have the range advantage. Green-white's a great gun combo. They just brute force bot, get 2 plates. Odd Orange isn't even on the Rift Herald yet, so Maryville going to drop some tempo by not trading that out in time. Said he was there on the bot lane hover, so TLC, they'll have utter control of that bot lane. Given the health bar of the Kai'Sa, it will be a Rift Herald going over to the side of MU, but TLC making that play, get themselves some space on the map and a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, going at it with Get Back yet again. Nice little chunk there in the trade. You do have Odd Orange hovering around this river up towards top side. The pressure is mounting bot lane. Zyko able to stop the shot in so Scary Jerry can get his back off. You're constantly hovering because this now feels like the win condition for TL. Play through bot lane. APA is perfectly fine on his own in mid lane. He's a sneaky little devil. Odd Orange does claim that Rift Herald.
And what we set up in draft, Mazel, is the fact that TLC, we expected them to have an advantage in the bot lane with the Aphelios and the Kai'Sa, at least in the laning phase. But gotta say, I think that Bradley, yes, he's 0-1, but he's done a nice job of holding his own up here in the top side. And the big change is the fact that Getback's ahead, so let's keep our eyes on Getback, see if we can get some meaningful poke down as Mir gets the bad news.
The bad news or the good news, because he's got a 2v1 with Daisy. Okay, maybe it's looking a little bit bad. Odd Orange trying to find his own kill there. The Blast Cone will be utilized beautifully by Mir. Odd Orange goes right back to the red that he was stealing away previously.
Mir will get some health back from that, but no red buff, so...
Tried to get the smite.
Yeah, Odd Orange is like, that's for taking the first one, you know?
My Vigil used pretty aggressively down here. Scary Jerry able to pop some damage back into Kim down. He's still very, very tension heavy down there in the bot lane.
I think Kim was trying to sit on that ultimate, thinking he might be able to get that stun off and then use that on the second rotation of spells, but not going to be the case. As you can see, Odd Orange shoving away Daisy. As Mir still been able to get his farm. Kraken Slayer already for that Tristana. And that's really... Tristana feels really nice this game. It will be double Kraken Slayer for Trist and the Aphelios, but that Renekton, Sejuani, Rel frontline, that's definitely a frontline that you're going to feel really good building Kraken Slayer into as you see APA go aggressive yet again. Yeah.
Got a lot of damage early on, but we're speaking of item completions. You do have that Dusk Blade for get back, so the poke will get even stronger, and you also finally got that static shift for Scary Jerry. So a little bit of strength in that in the first item spike, but still honestly waiting and watching as Rift Herald is the next spot for Odd Orange to try to get some advantages for his lanes out on the map.
I like that you call that out, Mizel, because I do think this is the point of the game where TLC can push hard. You have a Malphite going into a Jace, and Kaisa needs a few items to get that poke online. So I want to see if TLC are able to force onto the side of MU, because it does feel like, you know, Jace plus Kaisa at 2-3 items can be annoying to deal with. So let's see if Kim Down and Mir are able to find some plays on this Alistar Ivern combo, as it's not the easiest duo to force with, but I think if TLC force at the moment, given how strong this Aphelios is, I would favor them in an all-in scenario. Here we go.
Ooh, Scary Jerry taking a brunt of damage there as the cleanse does come through onto Arrow. He's looking forward with the Gravitum. Meanwhile, we see in that picture, Bradley able to get a decent amount of chunks on top side turret. Odd Orange, get back. They're all forming down here. Got a TP coming in from APA.
Okay. MU at least able to pick that up as he goes APA. Make sure that his bot lane cannot get dove. I will say that would have been a scary dive from Maryville, given that their bot lane did not have access to either of those ultimates. And APA going there will at least ensure that 3 plates go over to get back an Odd Orange here in the mid lane. So not all bad for Maryville.
Not too shabby. And this is a matchup, remember, we were talking, like, this is TLC favorite. They are a top force in the league, but Maryville are giving them a fight. Speaking of fight, though, Odd Orange has to get out of that fight. As you got TP on the back from Niles. This could be huge, but it's already the rest of MU that are gone out of the fight. He flashes, though. He might get him, and the Croc is here to chop him down. As Niles makes the difference with a TP from behind, and Gimpback gets himself a kill, too. Maryville are taking TLC to task.
Yeah, I don't like that fight from TLC. Kim Down was at half, but most importantly, you saw it was a TP differential in the top lane. Bradley, he TP'd back to lane. He was hitting this turret. He didn't walk down for the dragon. So Niles was able to have a beautiful TP flank, and this angle on the Renekton was fantastic, Mizel, as he blows up the fight, and Maryville pick up this dragon.
Nectons always look so scary, but especially when you know exactly how to pilot them, and Niles is looking damn good on his. And now it was an engage that TL followed up on after, but as soon as that TP starts coming in, it changes.
Yeah, also credit to Odd Orange. That flash away actually makes sure that APA can't get that rocket jump back, so I think that's why they were able to pick up 2 in the back half. As a beautiful TP from Niles. TLC were stuck. They blew everything out of Sejuani. That got away, and they end up dropping 2 in the dragon.
Now you got get back at 3-1 on the Jace, and Jace right now in this patch is just so ridiculously strong. If you can get ahead as well. So we're seeing the redeploys come back out onto the map. We will be looking at Maryville continuing to press this, because we've already mentioned once before, and we'll talk about it multiple times to say, marksman comps are strong. Double marksman comps even stronger if you can get to that scaling moment. For Maryville, yes, they're ahead now. They got to keep on going.
I think that for Maryville, too, like, they're going to pick up some standing gold. Both the mid and bot turrets for TLC are very low, given the Herald drop mid. And, you know, now you have Niles into that Malphite lane where he should be able to get some Demolish proc. So with plates off, let's see Maryville try to push the pace here. I think that for TLC, it's still trying to play through Arrow and attack Kaisa before she gets that Nashor's online, as I think that's really still where Aphelios should be favored.
A lot of positioning and jockeying for position around this top side, though, as Rift Herald will be spawning a little bit. Got Arrow already up here, and a sieging APA who knows that role all too well. Should get this outer tower, and that'll be first brick for TLC.
Actually, somewhat curious to see Niles joining the crew. I thought he would stay bot, but of course he doesn't have that TP, whereas Bradley does. So Niles going to join for the second Rift Herald, and Maryville going to throw their weight around a little bit. They will drop that top outer turret, but would be surprised if TL fights this head on. I think they're going to try and catch MU in rotation.
It's important, though, execution of the fight as Mir gets chunked out. Daisy is coming to join
Zyko.
Bradley. Stepping up pretty heavily here. Yeah, hasn't seen him. As they will back out of that one. Rift Herald goes to Maryville. They're looking at mid lane, though, with this comp, though. They take it so quickly, and it's a nice response.
Yeah, I think it's just fine for TLC, as they're doing a nice job of playing out their win cons now. And I do want to credit Maryville. I feel like Maryville had a decent idea of at least how to get a lead with this Renekton, and thanks to Niall's TP, they were able to find a couple positive plays for themselves. But now I'm really curious, you know, how they play it out from here, because they will have going to be the Rage Blade first, from the looks of things, instead of that Nashor's for the Kai'Sa, so a little bit more focus on that auto attack damage build instead of the poke. Yeah. And I think that this is still a time where, at an even gold game, TLC can brute force if they so please with the Malphite. So I think that Maryville, I want to see them try and get some poke down before they answer.
That's all fine and well, but Maryville, they are steaming ahead. They just came off of a 2-0 at the end of week 3 against FlyQuest Challengers. They are smacking TLC and keep it up with them here. I love to see that kind of fight from our collegiate representative in an ACL, but also a lot of the growth that we've seen from Maryville over these last couple weeks.
And I know from talking with Psycho, you know, I asked him, like, hey, what do you, what's the biggest credit you give from going from 1-5 to 9-9? Like, what changed in your team? And Psycho just said, hey, you know what, props to us for not imploding, right? We didn't want to go 1-5, but we stuck with it as a team. We're still really determined to give the best showing we can as a collegiate team. And you said that, you know, some of the biggest takeaways I had for the first round robin was just sometimes, like, some draft issues, trying to figure out what's right on the patch. He prefers playing the engagers now in this meta. Thinks that it kind of helps the team identity, but also just having discipline during the game. And we've seen Maryville, I mean, that 2-0 against FlyC, they had a lot of discipline to get back into those gritty games and beat FlyC. 2 games that I felt like were won at times for FlyQuest. So we'll see if Maryville can continue to grit their teeth here and grind it out against our top team in the league, as Get Back might be in trouble. And all from Auto Orange, keep them safe.
You have to grab it from Arrow, but an improved blast cone there. Well, I mean, there's no follow-up. You also get Niles in the side lane, getting his own tower. So Maryville get their first turret of the game. It is TL hovering around mid lane, but we have about a 15-second time on this next dragon here.
And I love the play from TLC, because they are still able to get control over bot river if they so choose, after Bradley fixes this, but also they just blood a summoner, or an ultimate, I should say, out of Maryville. No Sejuani ult if they do want to fight for this dragon. Chemtech Soul isn't going to be too appealing for either of our teams here, but looks like resets coming out here for the Maryville squad, as everyone's going to hit base except for Auto Orange. Would be a window where TLC could fight. Auto Orange is going to try and take the crab away, so they at least have knowledge.
He's going to be aggressed immediately by a giant Shamrock Rock. As the knockback does come through, Arctic Assault will get him out of there, and this should be easy peasy second dragon for TLC.
MU wants to look to fight. Everyone just reset except for Odd Orange. If they can find a fight in the back half, they might look to take it. And they're going to drop that second Rift Herald to make sure they get that mid turret and at least force TL to face them at the inner.
They didn't get the timing right on the contest, but now they can contest mid lane of priority here. They do get the outer tower. So nicely done. Maybe they're looking to take a fight in the choke, as well as a lot of AoE damage onto those multiple members of TL. But after all is said and done, the dust settles. Dragon for TL, tower from MU.
A little bit of a late reset there from Maryville. I don't know if they're going to be thrilled with that one, as they did have that second Herald. If they drop that in time to, with the Dragon Spawn, you know, you can use that to try and brute force that one down for yourself and get mid-outer, but not going to be the case. Props to TLC for playing the map a little bit better there. They're able to reset late. And curiously enough, looks like it's actually going to be Niles. Usually we see that Gore Drinker for Nectin. Zell looks like he might be going for that Radiant Virtue himself.
Yeah, Bash Bros in the top lane.
Yeah.
You know, the double Radiant Virtue, love to see it, but also specifically love to see Maryville given this fight. TL, though, they are not even close to out of it. They are circling around 3 items now for APA, still far from it, but that is the scary point, it feels like, for the double marksman composition, so definitely keeping that timer in mind moving forward.
My fear is just that when Bradley gets this Sunfire Cape completed, I think that's enough magic damage to get him over the edge. And there is so much on Scary Jerry's shoulders, given the build that we have Niles going, given that Sejuani is a tank, given that you're just playing Jace into Malphite. A lot's going to be on Scary Jerry, and keep in mind, Malphite still has that auto or attack speed debuff that's rather significant. So if he is able to find that ground slam on Scary Jerry at any point, I feel like the DPS for the side of MU is just gone. A lot of it's going to be on Niles and get back to shred with that cleaver and maybe the empowered E from Renekton to open things up. But I'm a little bit worried for MU moving forward in this game as APA.
APA, he can't get it, and it's MU to the rescue. Scary Jerry takes him out, and some payback onto their forward teammate.
APA was trying to take down his replacement, man, and Get Back just says, I got the crew with me. You're not on this team anymore, man. They're standing with me. End up taking down APA. Now will be a side lane. With pressure found for Brandy, but APA overextension there, and a big kill going over to Maryville.
Incredible stuff, actually. It's just a lot of aggression coming out of the pocket of APA. You'll have to see the response, though, from Maryville, making sure they're playing together. I know that's something that we mentioned a little bit earlier, is kind of just that decisiveness together. And Maryville have been able to represent a lot of this comeback and growth that we've seen.
It's really been a treat to see, especially after that 1-5 start. We were kind of worried for Maryville. Like, we knew that they were coming out of C-Law, not scrimming a ton, but even your interview with Odd Orange is like, hey, we're actually getting pretty good practice in. We just didn't play well that week. But hey, they've really turned it around and are really a middle-of-the-pack team where it's a litmus test for how well you can play as 5. Because if you are not on your game, Maryville, the one thing I'll really credit them with is that when they make decisions, they do make them together. And that has caught quite a few of our Challengers teams off guard.
It worked out for them before. We'll see if it works out for them now. We got timers starting to come alive for this map. We got about a minute and a half for another dragon. It'll be a soul point from TL, but right in this moment, we just get some standoffs, some OK Corral style situations between the two.
Show. All right, it's going to be Jack Show actually for this Renekton.
Not double radiant.
As Odd Orange now is continuing to try and find vengeance on the APA.
But they got to try to save Niles up here. Niles is a croc not in the right place as Mir trying to get caught on the other side. Thumbs up and an improved blast cone away. Maryville have drawn the line of scrimmage now.
Those empowered blast cones coming up big as
these teams just really want to fight, Cubby. They just really want to fight. There is literally nothing but blood ahead of us because we still have so long for objectives.
They can just keep on walking forward with Bradley on this Malphite. You can see how little damage he takes. It's only Kaisa that damages him. I mean, he's fine.
Caster Curse. Caster Curse.
He's still fine.
He's still doing all right as Dominus does end up getting popped to Niles. That's an easy move forward from Arrow. They are looking at it now as APA tries to get the Buster Shot damage. Man, he does a lot. That's going to be a Shock Blast back, but Baron for TL.
It's at least going to be a start. Odd Orange will have to look for a steal. Niles can base and TP back as Odd Orange.
Oh, no! Don't look! Thank you, observers, for going black. We don't need to see that. Anyways, Maryville on the attempt here. They will have Niles on the back. He is spotted out, though. TL, the decisiveness is key, and they decidedly go on to Odd Orange. They'll fall, and the Baron should go to TLC. Niles trying to get over the pit. He's popping Dominus. You've got a decent engage from Zyko, but it's all for naught as the dominoes start falling one by one for Maryville.
I've credited a lot of Maryville's play with devolving games so that you have to play into them. I feel like TLC just did the same thing to Maryville where they said, we have a 2-item Malphite. We're going to group as 5, force you to answer, and you cannot at the moment. Yeah. Exactly what ends up happening as Bradley, he tanked up so much damage in that first fight. He TP's back. Maryville have nothing left in the tank. There's no consistent DPS as we said that, hey, a lot of weights on Scary Jerry as he is the only magic damage, but he went the auto-attacking build. Yeah. Him not being there in the fight, he was forced out by APA. It just means there's no play for the side of Maryville. And Scary Jerry is not yet at that 3-4M spike where this Kaisa really does get to be a terror in the game. So TLC just forcing when they're strong, devolving the place that Maryville is forced to answer, and they could not. So really well done there from TLC.
And now that TLC have the Turo Baron buff, they are onto the map. They are dominating. As the 1,000 gold lead doesn't speak necessarily to the lead that it feels like they have. The double marksman comp is coming online. Although, you gotta say Bradley can't get cut out this time. Dies in the middle of his ultimate as the tower did fall.
You aren't quite that tanky yet, Bradley. As Scary Jerry, if he is able to free hit the Malphite, can do that, and MU, they're going to push.
It's still a 5v5, though, because he got Daisy, and APA now has resets, too. Immediately returned, though, is Get Back killing out Kim down. Arrow's trying to be the saving grace. Scary Jerry goes in with that killer instinct, but Arrow with the Moonlight Vigil dash, and that's huge. That's 2 kills go over to Arrow, and following it up is APA on a killing spree. Maryville thought they had a moment. They thought they could get it, but they slammed themselves into the wall.
When are people going to start taking away Aphelios from Arrow? He's 8-1, about to be 9-1 on the pick this split, and that was gorgeous, man. He just space glided all over Scary Jerry and Maryville as they win the fight down numbers, and TLC take full control of this game.
What a beautiful mechanical set. Scary Jerry was the one that stepped up to Arrow, and he got checked real hard, as that is the Dragon from TLC as well, and I'm hoping we get a replay of that one. Just wonderful mechanics from this guy, who I said just a couple weeks ago will be our best ADC in an ACL by the end of this split, and he's showing off here.
I love Kim stepping up here. He doesn't have ult, so he does go down to the poke from Get Back, but watch this combo
man.
Coming out of Arrow.
He weaves it. Like, he literally just weaves it. Look at, like, oh my god.
I mean, the flash away is the really impressive part for me, because the combo was going to take down Scary Jerry, who stepped too far up, but the fact that Arrow had the presence of mind to Gale Force forward and flash away actually buffered the stun from Niles Renekton. Arrow continues to be impressive this split, especially on his Aphelios that really has been running the league, Mazel.
Has been indeed. Now you got those 3 items. They're looking very similar there for Arrow and APA, but that Lord Doms is the most important thing right now. There will be no more tankiness for Maryville, and TL know that. They are pushing forward now. They do not want to let up.
Double marksman, as you called out, I mean, it scales so well, and when you have a Kraken plus an LDR against a frontline like Sejuani Renekton, that frontline doesn't live much anymore.
Exactly. Becomes so difficult to even pilot a lot of those frontline fights. Now we do see APA sieging down continuously onto these towers. Daisy will fall, but a Moonlight Vigil connects onto 3 members of Maryville. This will be another tier 2 going down. And right now, Maryville are running out of places to call home on the map, Cubby.
Yeah, they are the top team for a reason. The biggest reason for me is macro. And seeing their solutions to a lot of games. I mean, Maryville, they're playing pretty well this game. Like, they're up 3.5, 4K gold, challenging TL, but once Bradley had 2 items, it's just the full group, and TLC have not let off from there. Good understanding and problem solving what they needed to do when they were falling behind in this game, and Maryville, as you called out, they haven't had the answer to it as Arrow.
Not gonna lie, I was hoping you were gonna stick with the real Risen, as now we got TL Risen it up here in this team fight. There is not much that Maryville have to say in this conversation, as TL have found a triumphant lead in 29 minutes. It was looking Maryville favored early on. They had the gumption to pop a couple shots into the face of TL. There is a reason why this team is so good, and there's a reason why they're so lethal, as Mir will stay alive. There's one more engage to be had, but APA buffers it with the rocket jump, and now Zyko just falls. That's going to be Reset City for APA. Buster's shot gets the fall back, as Mir and Arrow know exactly where to go. They've seen this before. The Nexus falls once again. Game 1 for TLC look dang good, and they'll take down Maryville.
Well, you know, out of the 9 kills, they killed APA 4 times. So they took a little bit of revenge on APA, at least specifically. They got Ian, but not TLC. As I got to say, man, Arrows Aphelios just continues to be a ridiculous pick. 9-1, over a 10 KDA on this champion, this split. In Challengers, hasn't changed from the first round robin to the second. Want to see teams start denying that from the side of TLC, as I think Arrow has really should command more respect with how good he has been on that pick.
You absolutely should. Now we are going to step away for a small little break. Well, we will have our Rally Cry halftime show on the other side of it. Don't you miss it.
The LCS Challengers League is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car sharing marketplace. Find your drive.